This is a VIP exclusive event. I feel like we need to up the game a little bit, dive in a little deeper. And so here's my promise for you in the trainings that we're going to be doing in this topic. Plus, we're going to do some role play and some demo live calls too. We're going to be, doing all that stuff. You guys love that. Okay. At least that's what I hear. And so we're going to include that into what we're doing here on Wednesday nights. But my promise to you is this, that if you're somebody who has not done a deal yet and you're in the VIP club, you're in the right spot, because by the end of this 4, 5, 6 week training that we're doing on Wednesday nights in this Mastering the Phone 2.0, I want you to get comfortable and familiar with it. And I want you to be equipped with how to use some of these psychological triggers and how to walk the staircase to success in the conversation with a homeowner. Okay. If you're somebody who is doing deals and, you're pretty good at the phone already, I want you to be able to increase your efficiency and close more deals. Wouldn't it be nice if we could really polish you up and you double your closings? That would be incredible. What a way to add to the bottom line, right? I think it was Carmen the other day was telling us she got her first one, $7,000. Pretty good. Not bad. And so if you doubled your closing ratio, just imagine what that would be like. Like I said before, I want you guys to interact with me. I don't want to just do all the talking here. So let's feel free to unmute our microphones and turn our cameras on, guys.
Oh, there you go. There we go. I said I need all the prayers I can get. So nice.
All right. An anointing.
So my promise is to you that I'm going to equip you here with my knowledge that I have about making this call in the next few weeks, and stick with us through it. And you'll be able to get to your first deal, or, let's say maybe double your closings right now. If you're doing a deal a month, maybe you'll do 2. Okay. Because this is really where the money is made. Okay. We can talk about the market and the economy. All right. Marketing and economy. Yeah. Marketing right now. Does it suck? Does it seem like it's flooded? Does it seem like there's just too many freaking people around here? Yeah, sure.
Some areas, for sure.
Yeah.
We as investors think that way, but in reality, in some areas that may very well be true, but in some other areas that really is not the case. Not everybody's on YouTube like we are, right? So we see and hear it 24/7, but realistically, sometimes it's not as bad.
Yeah. In real estate, in retail real estate, we call them secret agents. There's a lot of secret investors too. You'll see them around, but you won't have to compete against them because they won't really be on the phones. They won't be in the market. They'll be depending on flyers and, mailers and stuff like that. And if you can get people on the phone, either by phone or text, you can, I think you can beat that whole thing. The competition is not as great as it appears, is my point.
I believe that what you're saying is true. But it is competitive too, right?
It is.
Yeah. And so that means there's a lot of people out here trying to do realtor stuff or trying to do real estate investor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What makes us different? What entitles you to getting a deal this week and not one of the other 1,400 people that are trying the same? You follow me?
Yeah.
Ryan's got a bunch of kids there. God bless y'all.
Sorry about that.
Hey, that's all right, man. Love kids. Love kids. Love you too, man. You're a good dude. So we have to admit the marketplace is full of people. trying to do ugly house wholesaling, trying to do subject to, trying to do lease options, trying to do creative finance, trying to do whatever, trying to sell them something. That's why they invented the do not call list, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people vying for their attention. And what's going to separate us? What's going to make us any different? I think it's safe to assume that if you and I struggle at the phone, that probably most other investor guys and gals do too. Is that a safe guesstimate?
I would say so.
Are you saying the best communicator will win?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to ruin my spiel, Rick, and go right to the bloody end.
Oh, sorry. I'm muting back.
I'm kidding, man. I'm teasing.
Right. You killed his build up.
Man, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
He wanted to crescendo this.
I'm really playing with you, dude. It's all good. You're
I'm in
exactly
church,
right.
Man.
The best. I believe you're right, man. The best communicator is going to win. You know, the leads. Where do we get the data? From the same place that everybody else gets the data.
Yep.
Okay. You text blast, or you ringless voicemail, or you direct mail, right?
Yeah.
Am I missing anything? Not really.
Not really. That is fine.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're doing some marketing to get some inbound calls. Okay.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some driving for dollars.
Yeah. Maybe
Door
driving
knocking.
for dollars. Yeah. Door knocking. That's tough. Tough business.
That's tough.
Yeah. I sold, like I said, I sold all kinds of spa packages and vacuum cleaners door to door. And I can tell you, I don't want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the best day to sell anything door to door is? The day it's raining and stormy outside and shit like that. The day when you don't want to go, right? Because that's when everybody's home. They don't want to go out either.
And they feel sorry for you.
Yeah. But for the most part, if you're doing outbound marketing,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the same data from the same place using the same 2, 3, 4 techniques that everybody else is using.
Yeah.
So how are you going to set yourself apart there? Well, maybe I have a more creative message. Okay. Maybe you do. But really, what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is not really found in the leads. There are 3 parts to real estate success. I'm going to write them down right here, right now on a whiteboard so you guys can see it. And the first one is strategies. Strategies. Somebody name me some strategies. What's
Lease option.
There you go. We talk about that all the time. What's another strategy?
Buy and hold.
Buy and hold. It's a good strategy. Okay. What's another strategy? Somebody else. Jessica, Carmen, Ginger, Sean, David, Raed, Aisha.
Aisha says subject to.
Subject to. That's a great technique. That's a technique. Any other techniques we could think of?
Discount wholesale.
Pre-foreclosures.
Okay, tell me more. That's a lead type, but you might have a strategy of doing what with them?
Wholesaling them.
Okay, straight wholesale. Good answer. That's a great technique. What about any other techniques? How many we got now so far? 6, 7?
There's
Anybody
probably
else?
60 more, I guess.
Fix and flip.
Fix and flip. That's a strategy. Yeah. Yeah. What's another strategy?
Wrap.
Wrap. Wrapping. Owner financing. Okay. That's another strategy. Can anybody think of another one? What about bank-owned wholesaling? REOs, HUD stuff, or Fannie and Freddie stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's a strategy. What about short sales? That's another technique, right? We're talking techniques. I've been saying strategies, but really techniques.
Yeah,
Techniques.
tax liens.
Tax liens. That's another one. Okay. Wow. Anybody else got another one? Well, I think we might be hitting 10, 11, 12.
Oh yeah, David said tax lien as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, you better get started now if you're going to be master of all of that. Okay. The technique is really, I'll catch this out, you guys, that especially new guys. The technique is just a tool, isn't it? I mean, it really is. If you think about it, the technique is just a tool because, it doesn't necessarily fit straight wholesale. Technique doesn't necessarily fit a pretty house, does it? No, because you're looking for ugly houses. Okay. So when you run up against a lead that is a pretty house, if you're only equipped with the technique, the tool of straight ugly house wholesaling, you pretty much can't take the job. Right? So it's important to know straight ugly house wholesaling. It's important to know pretty house wholesaling, the lease options, or maybe even subject to. You see, I only really want to be good at 2 or 3 of these. I've chosen myself personally techniques and strategies. Ugly house, straight ugly house wholesaling. That's one. Okay. I will go direct to seller and lock up a deal and put it under contract just to assign it to a buyer and make a nice big check. I will definitely do that. I am pretty damn good at that technique. Okay. Number 2, I will do a lease option, assignment, wholesale. Okay. If I run across a pretty house, they're motivated to sell, they want to get out, I'll lock it up with a lease option. Then I'll assign it to a tenant buyer for a nice big check and I'll walk away. No big deal. Number 3, I will do sandwich lease options, meaning I will stay in the middle if there's enough monthly profit there and there's a nice big back end. Okay. We're also going to have a course of training this summer on sandwich lease options following this one. When we wrap this one up, we're going to jump into sandwiches, I think. Okay. So check that out, y'all, because it's fun. Sandwich and lease options can be fun if you know what you're doing. Now, what is that? 3, I said? Is that 3? There's ugly house, lease option assignment, lease option wholesale. Yeah. Okay. I will also co-wholesale. And that's on the ugly house side. I will also co-wholesale on the pretty house side. Okay. So either way, I will co. So I only have 4 techniques in my belt, and I've been working at this since 2001. Okay. I'm not suggesting that you need to become a master of all of the techniques that we thought of and more. Okay. But these are what attracts people because why? It's sexy. Like if I was like, hey, y'all, I just got this new strategy I invented. It's dope as hell. You got to check it out. Nobody else even thought of this shit. You ain't even heard of this. Come take a look. Come check this out. Okay. If I did that, I probably have 1,000 people in the VIP club and I wouldn't even know what to do. Okay. But I'm not that way. I don't know that there's anything new under the sun, really. Sure, there's some things we haven't heard of but they've been around. Here's the thing. You don't need to be a master of all of that. You don't need to learn new stuff. The techniques you need to learn are very simple. Those strategies, either an ugly house wholesale or a pretty house lease option. That's enough right there. That's enough right there to be dangerous. That's what I call being a full spectrum wholesaler. When you got the ability to take on an ugly house or a pretty house. Let's see here. Back to the whiteboard. Okay. Strategies. You're going to have strategies in order to be a success at the real estate game. Most of you have the lease options course. There is a free one, but I think everybody here has the 2.0. Here's the second thing that you have to have in order to be successful in real estate business: marketing. Okay, marketing. What is some things that we could categorize as marketing? Give me some ideas of marketing, like we did with the techniques.
Texting.
Texting, perfect. Yeah, smart. Text blasting, you mean?
Text blasting. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Direct
Cold
mail.
calls,
Cold calls, yeah,
Direct mail.
yeah. Direct mail.
RVM,
Oh, ringless voicemail, yeah.
Mhm.
emails,
Email blast, yeah.
Bandit signs.
Bandit signs, yeah.
driving for dollars,
Driving for dollars, boom, yeah.
door knocking.
Door knocking, yeah. We said a lot of this before, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
biting off my style.
Anything else? What about building a realtor network for referrals
There you go.
or a wholesaler network for referrals?
Mhm.
Okay. How many do we think of just then, like in 10 seconds? Like,
Right.
like a dozen?
Yeah, something like that.
And every single one of those will produce leads. Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. So that's really not something you need to master every last one of those, is it? What about billboards?
What about online?
What about online? What about ads? What about Google? What about
Targeted IP.
What about targeted IP? Whatever that is.
David bringing it down.
Right. Radio ads, TV ads.
Yeah.
Aisha says radio.
Radio,
ads.
yeah, okay, yeah.
TV.
There's a dozen more. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you need to be the master at all of those? No.
Nope.
No, you couldn't be, really, could you? If you wanted to be, would it be possible even? Maybe possible if that's all you did, right? So, no. So we don't need to master all the strategies. We don't need to master all of the marketing possibilities. We just need one or two to get going. That's right. The more you get going, maybe you'll add some more. Maybe you'll add some more strategies. You get better. You grow. Maybe you'll be up to 4 strategies like me and then quit. Okay. Or maybe you'll be up to, 5 or 6 or 8. Probably not all of them. Probably not all of the marketing strategies, even when you grow and you get big. Probably just a handful more. Right?
Yeah, it's better to scale successful strategies than implement new ones.
Yeah. Perfect, Victor. That was a freaking mind bomb. Say it again. Say it again.
It's better to scale successful strategies than implement new ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So if something's working,
Mhm.
double it up, baby. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if the strategies aren't something you got to master all of them, and the marketing is not something you have to master all of them, and we're all basically doing the same stuff, right? We're all basically getting the data from the same places and either doing one of those various techniques, or 2 or 3 of those. We're all doing that. Which one works this year? Which one works this year? Which one works next year? Which one worked last year? Shit. I don't know. They've all worked always, really, if you think about it. Maybe some a little better than others at times.
Yeah.
But, it's not really what's going to set you apart. It's not going to make you different. The technique, there's a lot of people doing ugly house stuff, a lot of people doing lease option stuff, a lot of people doing text blasting, a lot of people doing ringless voicemails, a lot of people using the same identical message that I put in my free training course, which is crazy when I think about it. Like, I put a free course out there. I had no idea that it would be popular enough for people to get, like, the carriers to catch on to that message and block it. I don't know. I feel like I'm honored, guys. But be creative and change the message a little bit. But it's not the message that's going to totally close the deal for you. So what's the third thing here that you got to have in order to be successful at real estate? And I'll add it right here at the bottom. And that's
Giving good phone.
Yeah. Communication. I'm going to say that because Rick said that. Okay. And then Let's see here. All right. Can you guys see that? Communication. I put that in there for you, Rick.
Got it.
Giving good phone. Giving good phone. That's what makes you different. This is what makes you special. This is what makes you get deals when all of the other people that had the same data and were trying to apply the same strategy and technique as you with the same text message. That's why you get the deal they did. Right? My promise is to you that through this training, you're going to get more comfortable with these ideas. And in order to do that, I want to jump into something right here and expose some of the negatives about it being on the phone. What's some of the negatives about being on the phone? Somebody shout one out if you got one. No metaphors like it was like it weighs 10,000 pounds or it's like a cactus. Like I want some real shit here.
All right.
What's scary about this thing?
Negative people.
Rejection.
Okay. Fear of getting rejected, right?
You're getting rejected. Yep.
Or we could say maybe it's a lack of confidence, right? Maybe. Could we interpret that as a lack of confidence?
Yeah, that probably.
Okay. If you hate hearing the word no, like if it's like when a seller says no to you, it ruins your day. Like it wounds your inner child. Like you go away for a couple hours and contemplate your whole life on the tree of woe.
That was deep, man.
On the tree of woe. I love it.
Yeah. If that's you, then stay tuned because we want to fix that. We want to fix that. We're not going to be able to do it all tonight, of course, but we're going to break this down as we go forward. What's another thing that makes us scared of the phone? And let's make it not about the fear. Let's make it about what about it being a seller's market? What about you calling sellers, homeowner leads, and they want top dollar for their property? Or they want more than top dollar?
Having them take control and you don't know how to get it back.
Great. Yeah. Like I'm afraid I'm going to call them and they're not going to be flexible. They're not going to be polite. They're not going to be nice. And they're just going to totally abuse me like I'm some kind of a, I don't know, redheaded stepchild or something, right? I don't know. Wow. Who gets abused? Rick, tell us. You're in church right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, afraid of them treating you like you're a child, and really just not being adult. Is that what you mean, David?
Yeah, like, you're calling them like you feel like you're bothering them, but like you're actually trying to help them, and they don't understand that.
Oh yeah.
Or they just don't need the help.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe they just don't need the help. Yeah. So what's some ideas maybe beyond this that make the phone so scary? What are some horrible things that could or may happen that are in our minds about making this phone call? Pick it up and, because honestly, I've had you guys confess. You shouldn't confess to me. You should confess to Rick because he's at church.
Well, they could say yes, and you just don't think you can close the deal.
Okay, the investor doesn't think he can close the deal, or the seller doesn't think he can close the deal?
Either or as an investor.
Yeah.
You second guess yourself.
Boom. Happens a lot. Yeah.
Happens to me all the time. That's why I said that, because it happened to me today. Where do the numbers really make sense? And then you kind of second guess yourself a few times after the fact that you get a yes. And you're like, okay, can I move this thing?
Okay, let me give you a deal example today, guys. You just reminded me of something that happened today. I got this lead that I'm working. Well, actually, not really me, but personally, it's in my home state of Kentucky, and I don't live there anymore. I haven't lived there in a long time. Haven't even been back for a visit in like ages. So, like a long time. So anyway, this deal is all good. Probate, 440 ARV, $250,000 contract price, what I can get it for. So actually, all that sounds pretty okay to me right now, except they want $5,300 earnest money. What do you guys think about that deal?
What's the ARV?
440.
$5,300 earnest money.
Well, they want 2%. So
2%
yeah,
is better than 10%.
we're talking earnest money.
Okay, I'm charging 5%.
At earnest money on an ugly house deal. I didn't say that though. I didn't tell y'all it was an ugly house deal.
Oh, it's a wholesale
I
deal.
was thinking something else. I
Yeah.
was thinking pretty house.
Sorry.
lease house. Yeah.
Rick, you had one job to do, and that was remind me to tell people what strategy that I was trying to use, what tool in my toolbox I was trying to pull out, and you let me down again, man.
Time to change the background. I'm changing the background.
I love you, Rick. You're a great dude. Yeah, ugly house wholesale. Everything looks good numbers wise. 440 ARV, 250, but they want $5,300 something like that down. Earnest money. What do you think about that? See, is this the kind of shit you second guess yourself on? That's what I'm getting at.
Why? If they're going to take that much of a hit on the price, why they want? I mean, they just want it to be a solid. He's going to put this down and he's going to walk it through to close. Or are they just afraid that you're not going to perform?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just want to lock you in, and there's no way he's going to back out of this
no. They took this deal to their sisters, husbands, brothers, cousins, friends. Bartender was an attorney, and he says that it should say 2% because it's pretty standard. And I'm like, okay, pretty standard fucking where? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So is this the kind of thing you second guess yourself on? That's my question. That's really the point I'm trying to make. Little tiny shit like this, right? Yeah, that happens to me too. It happened to me today. Right now, I got a counter offer in. I'll do $2,500 earnest money. We'll see if that works. But I'm second guessing myself because I might have should have taken it. I don't know. You got to be able to make decisions like this, guys, and live with the consequences, even if you don't know, right? That's part of the business too. But we're a little off track here because I want to talk about the phone. I'm the guy that brought up the deal. I know. But my point is yeah, we definitely second guess ourselves on the phone. How many people in the room here are scared of objections? What happens if they say, I'm a scammer? What happens if they tear up my house? I've had some guys in the VIP lately come to me, and this is partly why we're doing this, because they've said, I don't know how to even bring up the topic of lease options. Okay. We want to get through all that stuff, guys. It's okay if that's where you're at. Just relax, take a breath. We'll get you there. It's pretty simple. It's about 1-2 sentences, and that's it. All right. Okay. We all have these challenges. That's the point that I want to make here. We all have these challenges. We all have the confidence issue. We all have the fear issue. We all have the uncertainty of not knowing what kind of person this is going to be on the other end of the phone. But what we're talking about here is being able to qualify or disqualify them in 3 minutes or less. Okay. Qualify or disqualify. Notice I didn't say close them in 3 minutes or less. but qualify them as a good lead, someone you want to spend more time with, or disqualify them and get off the phone. I am not referring to your virtual assistant making a pre-qualification call that takes about 3 minutes. Okay. That's not the call I'm talking about. I'm talking about calling that if you use that process and you have a virtual assistant or someone that's pre-qualifying your leads for you, I'm talking about calling the lead and having a closing conversation with them and knowing in 3 minutes or less whether or not this is somebody worth your time, right? That's what we're wanting to learn here. Okay, so how would that save your life and your business to be able to do it in 3 minutes or less? I know this. If you spend 45 minutes on the phone with sellers or 30 minutes on the phone with sellers and you're trying to pre-qualify or disqualify or figure out if it's a deal or not, and you don't have this kind of a program or system, you will not last in this business. Right or wrong? Yeah, I've seen it happen. In fact, it happened to me. Remember I said I played around with real estate and I did some things. I even did a few deals, but I still didn't really know what to say on the phone. I just kind of got lucky. Well, part of that is I didn't have a coach or a mentor. I didn't have any training on it whatsoever, but it happened to me. I quit doing real estate for a while, went through, job after job after job I described, lost most of them, got fired from, right? Okay. So, or left under weirdness or something, it was like, that guy hates me now or something. I don't know, like shit happens, I guess. But, one time I got fired for listening to a headset. It's hilarious. I ought to tell that story sometime. Well, the guy, the boss came up, he said, "Hey, take the headset off. You can't listen to music while you're working here." I said, "Okay, that's cool. No problem, boss." So he walks away and I put one earbud back in and I'm kind of turned away from the supervisor desk over here. So I'm hoping he doesn't see my, he was like, "Get the hell out of here, man. Hit the bricks. You're fired." I was like, "Oh no, man. What am I going to tell the wife? I got fired again." This time over a fucking earbud. Crazy. I've been there, guys. I was hesitant to get back into real estate because I still didn't know what to say. So we want to fix this problem with you guys as well, because I feel like this process has fixed me, and now I can make phone calls now without the fear of getting rejected, because I'm only going to be on the phone with you for 3 minutes or less. And if it's a bad deal, I'm out, right? If you're going to be a jerk to me, I'm out. I don't need to be on the phone for that long, getting abused by somebody I don't know. Maybe somebody kicked their cat this morning and they're pissed at the world and they want to take it out on the next salesman that calls, and that happened to be me. I'm not interested in that. I'm not asking you to sign up for that class. I'm just wanting you to know that you can do this. You can do it too. Okay. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not an overly educated guy. I don't have any real formal training. I just have taken an interest in how to be a better communicator over the telephone. And I've studied it for a while now. I've grown a lot, and I want to share with you what I do know. Let's talk about overcoming objections. That's another big fear. Another big fear. Overcoming objections. What's some big objections that we hear? Anybody got one?
How do I know that you'll be able to perform and close this deal?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Are there any others? What's some objections that you hear from sellers, or you think you might hear from sellers? Let's just get it all out on the table. What's the worst possible?
How do you know your tenant's actually going to be able to qualify for that to get the mortgage and get approved to close the home?
It's a good objection.
I don't want to. I don't want to rent. I just want to sell it.
Yeah.
I want my full price.
There you go. There you go. Sure. What about how are you going to manage a property when you live so far away? Or how are you going to make sure this is done right if you're so far away? That's a great objection. There's lots of objections. Are there more? Got to be more. Tons of objections out there. Come on, Aisha. What's an objection? I know you've heard a few.
Many.
Yeah. What? Give us a few.
I don't like you.
There you go. I don't like you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a rough one. Or were you telling me that? I'm not sure. Any other objections we hear?
I can't understand what you're saying.
Okay. I don't understand. Yeah.
Why
What about-
does Zillow say it's worth this much and you're only talking this much?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What about some others? Anybody else? Somebody we haven't heard from? Jessica or Carmen or Ginger? Dion? Sean? Rocky? We get lots of objections out there. What's the worst one you've ever heard? What's the one that hurt your feelings the most? What's the one that made you want to quit?
The one that I hate the most is, oh no, another one that you know what? Don't make me no stupid ass offer. I'm not really trying to hear right now. You guys call me all the time. I'm sick and tired of you investors.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I
Wow.
need is another low baller.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Dude, you know, one that like stunned me was like, oh, I decided to take a cash offer. You know, no, I don't want your lease offer anymore. You know, I want a cash offer on it, and it like stumped me. Like, but then I revived the deal, and I'm still working it now. But that stumped me though. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna quit now. You know, but I was like, oh, this. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
tough, though. Right. I got all the way up to the finish line. Like, oh, I got a cash offer. I'm gonna go with them. And they're just fronting though. I think they don't got it. I don't think they got anything. But anyways, that was one for me.
That's a good one. It's a good one. One time I had a homeowner say, if you call me again, I will fucking kill you. I'm serious. That's like an objection. That's like a hardcore objection. That one there, that made me think for a minute. It's like, I don't want to be walking around the corner over there at the old Walmart and get blown out, you know, into my next realm or whatever.
I'm glad you said that, Mr. Seller. If we can close this up right now, I'll never have to call you again.
That's not a bad answer. It's not a bad answer. Is there any other objections that we are afraid of or that we've heard or that we're afraid we might hear?
Lose my number, lose my email, take me off your database.
Oh yeah, I hear that one too. Yeah. That's a good one, Ginger. Good one. Good one.
What if the tenant buyer loses their job? Then who's going to pay?
Yeah, that's a great one. I hear that one too.
You know, one that like you can pick up like offers on, like they'll think you're somebody else. They'll be like, oh yeah, you texted me the other day. Be like, well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You know, maybe it was Victor who was texting you. But I was like, oh yeah, you know, what do you think of that offer I sent over? You know, because they have so many people calling them, and they're confusing people. Like they're confusing me with like other people, right? So many of these people. Oh, you texted me last week and blah blah blah. I was like, oh, I didn't text you. But you want to lease option your house to me?
Yeah. I've heard a lot of different things. I think I've done it so long now, I rarely hear a new one. You know, they're all basically what we've been saying. What do all those things have in common? All of those objections, what do all of those objections have in common? I can think of 2 or 3 things. One is they remind me of what Mama used to tell me, that sticks and stones break my bones, but words never hurt me. Well, words do hurt. We all know, but that's like an inner thing. It's like an inner child thing. They don't really hurt you. So what all those things have in common is that all of those things can be said to you, and guess what? You're just fine. You're fine. That guy said he was going to fucking kill me. Guess what? I'm still sitting here today. Never heard from him. I didn't call him again. He didn't call me again. Everything's okay. Shook me up for a little bit, though. Shook me up for a minute. Didn't really hurt me, though. Didn't really stop my business. I didn't really quit doing what I was doing because I was afraid I was going to call somebody else like that again. What about this one? What you're doing is illegal and you should be reported. Have you ever heard that one? Yeah.
I have, from a real estate agent that got one of my driving for dollar postcards. She goes,
Yeah.
I looked you up. You're a real estate agent in California, and my house is on the market. She tried to push me into a corner, and well, you know, I don't like corners.
Yeah. So I've heard that one too. What you're doing is illegal. Are you gonna listen to all that shit and incorporate it into your mind and let it soak in like a sponge and brew on it and stew on it, or not? What's the best thing to do with all of the emotional shit that comes along with everything that was just said? What's the best way to deal with that? Yeah. Realize that it's not sticks and stones. It's not going to break your bones. My brother says it like this. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I just said click. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, you know.
Exactly. 3 minutes or less. Okay. If a guy's going to be like that, I just get off the phone. That's all I do. A lot of those questions, though, a lot of those objections that were mentioned, though, could be answered with one simple statement. A lot of them. I don't know, Mr. Homeowner. How do you see that working out if I weren't involved? They're going to answer their own damn question for you. Okay? Yeah, well, that's pretty much how it works, Mr. Homeowner. Except in this case, we're working with a tenant buyer that's been through a great deal of pre-checks here, and also they want to be homeowners. Is that something we can continue talking about, or is this over? That's how 90% of those objections that we just named, you could answer every one of them that way and be just fine. You see what I'm saying? It's fear that robs us of our ability to think in these situations. Now, I know I have some emergency specialists, civil servants here in the VIP club, and they would probably, I hope I'm right about what I'm about to say, and that's that they train in emergency situations so that when the fight or flight thing kicks off. Have you ever had a fight or flight thing kick off while you're on the phone with a homeowner? Be honest with me. I have. I've had the fight and the flight, both. Okay. And when it kicks off, if you don't have good training, you'll stop thinking and you'll just go back to the reptilian mind and whatever instinct says. Right? That's why we want to train here. So that's why we role play a lot. That's why we're going to break down the conversation over the next few weeks, and we're going to get into the meat of this, man. But really, I want to get over that fear. We got to get over that fear. We're going to wrap up here just real quick here, probably the next couple minutes, but unless you guys have more you want to talk about.
What about like the buy when they say that they'll take buyer's agents? I had a lady like stump me, and I got off the phone. I thought she was like dissing me. She was like, "Yeah, if you can find me a buyer, a buyer, I'd work with the buyer's agent." And I was like, I was like just offering like the lease option and trying to buy her house, and I thought she was dissing me. So I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll get back with you." Like, you jump off the phone, and then I texted her, and I hammered out an offer with her. But like when she mentioned that, buyer's agents, like, what do we say to them then?
Are you not pitching a wholesale cash offer at all? Are you just trying to
Well,
lease option or sub to everything?
Well, no, I mean, if the deal qualifies for, that type of creative, deal, a lot of the people respond back. They'll work with buyer's agents, and I'll give a 2%. A lot of people put in their ad, I'll put a 2% buyer's agent fee. Bring me a buyer. A lot of people are saying that to me. Oh, bring me a buyer, and I'll cut you under the table. And I'm like, no, you don't have to come under the table. We could work it legally. Yeah. So
I guess that depends on what your message is out to them, because I really don't get that type of response. And almost everybody I talk to, I almost always approach them as a wholesale first, and then backtrack my way, depending on how the conversation goes into some sort of terms.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if somebody comes across that way, I would just ask, you're interested in paying a 2% buyer's fee, what exactly type of cash deal are you looking for here? And just try to open up the conversation to get them to talk more about what they really need for it. Because I'd be kind of curious, if you haven't talked about cash before and they're already talking about paying a referral, bring me a buyer. What's your price? Let's talk about this. I might be your buyer.
Boom. There you go. Let me share this screen with you guys. 3 steps to the conversation. We've talked about this before. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. It's 3 steps. First one is agenda. Hi, my name's Justin. I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking to pick up my next property deal. I saw this one online. It was interesting to me. Thought I'd give you a call, ask you a few questions, let you ask me a few questions. And hey, if it's not a good fit, it's okay if you tell me no. Does that all sound good? That right there is the agenda. That's it. Now, as much as we talk about this, and as much as you guys hear me do it during role plays and stuff, I swear there's a bunch of you that still don't do it. And that's a mistake. Okay. And then there's some of us that do it, but we sound wrong.
Could you repeat it one more time?
Yeah.
Your intro? I've heard it 1,000 times, but I know that I am guilty of not doing it all the time. I'll just be straight up.
Yeah. Hey, this is Justin. I'm actually a real estate investor looking to buy another property deal, and I saw this one online. It was interesting to me. I thought I'd give you a call, ask you a few questions about it, let you ask me a few questions. If it's not a good fit, you could just tell me no. Does that all sound okay?
Just like that.
That's how you open up a conversation. Okay, let's dissect what I did real quick before we wrap up. That's the agenda. We'll talk about the agenda more, and we'll role play the agenda more too. And then we'll do the qualification section, and then we'll do the closing section after that. So you can see how we're gonna build this thing here. Just through these 3 steps: the agenda, the qualification, and the closing. And intermingled in there, we're gonna do role playing and maybe even some live demos. Okay, because I'm all about that. Sounds like fun to me. How cool. How cool. I love the VIP. I love you guys. You guys are great. What's some problems that we have with the agenda section if we're doing it? What's some big problems we have? I've got some notes here that I wrote down. Some problems we have with the agenda. What's some ideas you guys have about problems with the agenda?
Well, I guess breaking the initial ice, depending on where that lead really came from, because maybe you didn't just drive by the property. Maybe you didn't really see it online.
Okay.
So breaking that initial, maybe you got the list off the prop stream. Hey, I was looking on a program that I pay for, I mean, obviously that's not your script, but I mean, that's, breaking the ice, depending on where that lead came from, would probably be an initial trip up a little bit, I guess.
9 times out of 10, when I'm calling a homeowner, it doesn't matter where the lead comes from. I'll say those exact words 9 times out of 10. And they may say, where'd you get my number? Google. I saw it online somewhere. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I'm interested in buying a house today. Like I said, I'm an investor. If you want to ask me some questions, I'd like to ask you some questions. And if it's not a good fit, you can tell me no. Is that fair? I'll just go right back and say it all over again. But my answer for 99% of the how'd you get my numbers is online, Google. I don't know, man. It was somewhere on there.
That seems to work for me too. I don't get all technical. Like I pay a company to look up stuff. I just tell them, I just look up the address online and found several numbers and just calling them all. And hopefully one of them's the right one.
I've had them say, can you send me the link where you found my name and phone number? Because I want to have that place reported. I've had them say that. Yeah. I'll say, oh, absolutely, man. As soon as we get off here, I'll need to get your email address to do that. But, well, can you just text it to me? Okay, well, hold on. I ain't done talking to you. I might get that email address after all, okay? Because remember, I want to send you a contract on this house today. Can I ask you a few questions? You can ask me a few questions. I said contract, didn't I, Victor? Like I never say contract. Never say contract. Now I want to send the agreement to you today. So let me ask you a few questions. You can ask me a few questions. And if it's not a good fit, you can tell me no. Does that sound cool? I always go back to that. That is a roadmap for your conversation. That is you being in control of the conversation. You started out well, it will probably go well. You started out not in control, it will probably end very poorly. Am I right? Okay. A lot of the problems with brand new folks is they want to reinvent the agenda. Hi, my name is Justin, and I saw your house online. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about it? What the hell are you doing? That ain't what you're supposed to do. Hi, my name is Justin. I'm an investor. I'm looking to buy something today. I saw yours online. I wanted to call you and ask you a few questions, let you ask me a few questions. And if it's not a good fit, hey, you can just tell me no. Is that cool? Okay. I changed it up a little bit, but I didn't change the last sentence and a half or two. Okay. Very important that you start strong. I know it's uncomfortable to read my words, to say my words, right? The guts words, Claude's, ultimately, the agenda. You don't want to say that because it's uncomfortable because it's not you. That's okay. Put it in your own words, but say it every single time. Are you getting on the phone to chit chat about the house for a little bit? You getting on the phone to chit chat? That's what you do when you wing it. You're just getting on there to chit chat, and you're not doing the 3 minutes or less qualify or disqualify. That chit chat shit will run you out of the business because you will chit chat all day and be exhausted and not make any money, and you'll quit tomorrow. I guarantee you. It'll be like the time I went and got the job working at the trash company because I was hard up for money. I thought, well, what the hell? They pay people to sling trash in the back of trucks. They pay every Friday. I need money. I had a baby. I was like, I'm going to sling trash for a couple weeks. Shit. Are you kidding me? I had dog shit all over me and trash and rotten food, and it rained all fucking day, and it was heavy shit. And then somebody else's truck broke down. We had to go do theirs. There was a truck that caught on fire. I was like, I am not coming back. ever. You will feel like that about the real estate business if you get on the phone and doing this chit chat stuff. Use the agenda. Use the agenda. It is a roadmap, right? Okay. So what's some other problems we might have with the agenda? Anybody got any other ideas on problems we might have with the agenda? Let's talk about.
What do you mean problems? Like people saying things to throw you off of your agenda, and then you just have to pull it right back on track again?
What I mean is reasons why people are uncomfortable saying the agenda and or stating what the agenda for the call is really what we're doing, and reasons why they're afraid of this, and reasons why this might not be working if they're doing it.
Yeah, for the longest time, I pulled back from saying that I'm a real estate investor. And I was initially saying, hey, it sounds like I caught you in the middle of something. You know, kind of like as an initial.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Justin, this is Rick. Oh, it sounds like I caught you in the middle of something.
Yeah.
And then kind of getting a feel for where they were at. They're like, well, no, not really. Who's this? You know, and then kind of rolling into it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's times when I get on the phone with somebody and we start talking about things pretty quickly and I didn't even have a chance to say the agenda. But I always get back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say it. I will say, well, hey, I did call you today because I'm an investor, see, and I'm glad you're telling me all about it because I'm looking to buy one. And I wanted to ask you some more questions about this one too. And you asked me some questions and see if it's a good fit. And if it's not, hey, tell me no. Is that cool? You know, I always go back to it because it sets me up to close this person. See, if I'm not doing this, I'm not setting myself up to close this person. You're going to have to go a long way at the very end of the conversation to get this all set up right. If you don't start out right, it's like playing golf. If the club head's a little off, you're 40 yards over in the woods. If the club head's a little to the left, guess what? You're hooking, you know? And nobody likes hooking. Okay. Or slicing. You want it straight up the middle. In order to be 300 yards up the middle of the fairway, your club head has to start. You have to start out right down here with a straight plan, right? Can't be crooked, turn this way or that way. The same way with this sales pitch, this sales call. If you don't start out right, you can't finish right. Yep. I always go back to it. Good point, Rick. Scripts are garbage, guys. Learn this formula. And you'll have confidence on the phone. You can do this in 3 minutes or less. What's some questions we got out there tonight? Anybody got questions? I know I talked a whole shitload tonight. I was trying to lay a lot of foundation where we're going. Next week's going to be like pretty intense as far as role playing and practicing and putting into practice what we're establishing tonight.
It's a good foundation, man. There's a lot of elements here, and I think that it was a great layout of what's to come. And
thank you
for sure, man.
Thank you for saying that. One other thing I want to address before I get off the phone is in the agenda, it's important to recognize tonality. Have you ever really listened to how you talk? Like, I remember recording myself and listening back, and the sound of my own voice, while interesting to me, if I'm to be honest, it's interesting to me. It's at the same time an abrasive sound. Have you ever listened to yourself? Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, man, I feel like I just barely evolved out of the animal ranks. And here I am listening to myself, you know, like I'm barely evolved off the monkey stage. And here I am now. A human. Tonality. What is a tonality that we often hear people calling with? Describe it to me. What's the typical tonality? What's the word, an adjective for it?
Nervous.
Nervous is a good one. What's another one? Scared as shit. Right. What's another one?
Timid, shy.
Timid and shy. Soft spoken.
Robotic.
Say it again.
Robotic.
Robotic.
Like a robot.
Robotic.
Yeah, like reading of a script, memorized.
Robotic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Unsure of themselves.
Oh yeah. Unsure of themselves. Yeah.
Lack of confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Anything else? What about salesy?
Yeah, I don't like me myself. I have a difficult time. I really don't like the chit chat. I'm like a direct to the point type of person, and sometimes you can't always be that way when you're talking to people. You kind of have to mirror them a little bit because some people talk slow. A lot of times I don't, and so I've noticed myself that I have to slow myself down, be more personable, and
Well, Rick,
not go directly to point B on that straight line sometimes. I mean, that's, I just, that is it's a personal problem.
Rick, you're
But,
on the west. You're on the West Coast. David Rodriguez is on the East Coast, basically. Both of you guys have to practice what you're talking about right now. Slowing down a little bit. Slowing down a little bit. Fast thinkers, fast talkers. Okay.
I like you, David.
Comes across.
Rick, I get it, Rick. It's like you want to get right to the point with them, but you gotta just take it slow. It's
man,
it's difficult.
That's been an ongoing thing with me. I just, I just don't like to chit chat too much. I'm like, what color's the ball? Ball's blue? Great, blue ball. Next. You know what I mean? Yeah. I cause a lot of my own problems, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
What if we called and we sounded like a car salesman? Would that be better?
No.
What if we called and we sounded like we were selling vacation packages? You guys ever see the Key and Peele sketch where he was selling vacation packages? And the guy kept he kept fucking hanging up. Click. And he was like, "Give me 5 of those packages." He was like, "I don't think you really want it, sir." Click.
The very end was classic. Like, this new script is really
It was pretty gutsy. It had a lot of guts in it. It had a lot of the stuff that we're actually going to talk about in the next 3 sessions and demonstrate and practice together. But yeah, definitely he was definitely not salesy or the typical telemarketer. Gosh, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Somebody shout it out when you answer the phone accidentally for a damn telemarketer.
How can I get rid of this guy?
Damn.
I just hang up now. I'll just hang up. I ain't even going to try to talk my way out of this because they ain't going to let me. Don't want to be salesy. Don't want to be telemarketery. Don't want to be timid. Don't want to be fearful. Don't want to be all these things we just said. So what do we want to be? Tonality. What do we want to sound like when we hit this agenda with the phone?
Genuine.
God, I couldn't have asked for a better answer.
Caring.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Caring. Okay.
No?
Sort of.
All right. I'm muting back out. I'm out of here.
Caring. That's pretty good. I like it. Anybody else got one? What should we sound like? Dion, Aisha, Jessica, Ginger, Carmen. What should we sound like? How about rich as hell? Is that okay?
As long as you're not arrogant about it, I guess. You're not begging them. You're letting them know that I'm buying a few properties here. You could be one of them. Maybe not.
If you exude that and they pick it up, they know that you're actually going to come through on the deal.
Will that save people from asking the question, how do I know you're going to perform on this?
Yeah.
A little bit. You might still get it occasionally, but yeah, that fixes that some. Yeah. What happens when you get on the phone? You're like, "Hi, my name is Justin, and I am an investor, and I am looking to get your my next property deal. I saw this one online, and it was interesting to me."
Click.
Yeah, you're done. Your goose is cooked. Can't fix that. Can't make that work. You got to stand up or sit up straight. I like a phone I can feel. I like a phone I can feel. That sounds sexy, right? I get on the phone. I hit them big old buttons. I got big buttons, man. I got the phone for the old people. It's got like, what do they call that? Jitterbug. I got the big phone for the old people because I like it that way. I got my desk set up the way I like it. I got the phone I like. I got the chair I'm comfortable in. Now I sit up straight. It's relatively peaceful and quiet in here. I can do my work. I can breathe. If I'm sitting back here like this, hey, yeah, this is Justin. I'm a real estate investor, and I was calling because I saw your property online, and shit, it was. Hold on a second. Yeah, it was. No, I want to ask you some questions. Maybe you can ask me some questions, and if it's not a good fit, just let me go. Just let me know. Is that cool? I've heard it, guys. I click on that shit too. They ain't gonna listen to that. You ever talk to somebody and you was like, was that dude laying down? That you sound like you're laying down. Are you laying down? Are you in the bed? Yeah. You can tell that stuff. Sit up straight, talk like you have the ability to perform, and lay out the agenda with some confidence. Start out right. Hi, this is Justin. Yes, I'm a real estate investor. I'm calling because I'm wanting to pick up another property deal today, and I saw this one online. I was interested in it, wanted to call you and ask you a few questions. You can ask me a few. If it's not a good fit, I'm okay with you telling me no. Is that cool? Wonderful. Was I salesy?
No, assume confidence and posture, right?
I sound like a confident real estate investor who's probably got some money and some ability to pull this shiz off, right?
Yeah, confidence and posture.
Yeah. All about that. You never get a second chance to do what?
Make that first impression.
First impression.
That's it. Now, we're gonna wrap up right here. I said that a half hour ago. Holy cow. When we get on the phone, this is not talking to your friends. You're not calling to be a friend or make a friend. You're not calling to beg somebody for help or for money. You're not calling your mama. You're not calling your wifey. You're not calling your sugar sweetie or your boo. Okay. You're making a professional call using your words like a tool. And you're going to qualify or pre-qualify in less than 3 minutes. So my point is that when we talk to friends, family, and relatives and whoever else, we slouchy, we use half sentences, half words. I've got a son that likes to talk at this volume right here. I'm like, what? Yeah, he started out. I'm like, man, you're trailing off. I can't hear you. If you want me to listen to you, you're gonna have to talk where I can hear you. See, you got to tell your kids that, right? But nobody's going to tell you that. They're just going to hang up. Okay. So you want to be cognizant of this, of your presence, of your tonality, of your ability to communicate like you have confidence and like you know what you're doing. That's 90% of this. Okay. 90% of it. Confident. I'm okay because if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to, you know what I say? That's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to find that out. Is that the only thing keeping us from doing a deal today? Or was there something else? No, that's it. Okay, so if I solve that problem for you, we can go ahead and move forward. Okay, wonderful. Can I call you back in 30 minutes? That's the worst case scenario for Justin. They ask me something I don't know. Guess what? That's how I deal with it. Honestly, I don't know. But I'll find out. Is that the only thing that's keeping you and me from doing this today? How easy is this, guys? And how brutally honest and transparent. How not salesy. How not telemarketery. Okay? I don't want to be a salesman. I don't want to be a telemarketer. I want to be a real estate investor. And so this is imperative that you learn this stuff, guys. All right, let's role play. Let's role play the agenda real quick. 2, 3, 4 times. It don't take long. Who wants to role play and be the caller? And who wants to be the homeowner? Let's go. Agenda. Tonality. We need tonality. We need confidence. I need to fucking believe in you, man.
I'll be the caller.
Okay. Sounds great, David.
I'll be the homeowner, I guess, if nobody else wants to do
Okay.
it.
We're just doing the agenda. We're just doing the agenda. Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Hi. Yes. Hey, my name's David. I'm calling about the property that I saw on Zillow. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Yeah, I was just watching Baywatch. What can I do for you?
I'll make this real quick. I don't want to. I'll make this real quick. Well, I saw your property online and really interests me. I wanted to call you, ask you a couple questions. You can ask me a couple questions. And if it sounds like this doesn't work for you, just let me know and you can fire me right then and there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, tough guy.
Excellent, man. Anybody got any critiques on David's agenda? No. By the way, the agenda is in the Lease Options 2.0 course in the how to qualify and close deals. So if you're looking for a cheat sheet, if you're looking for the cheat sheet, it's all right there. Anybody got any critiques on him? How do you do?
It was rushed.
Oh, David, you got any answer for that?
Yeah, he said that he was busy, so I wanted to make it.
Ooh, touche.
Pamela Anderson's coming on. I gotta.
Pamela Anderson.
She's
Yeah.
90 now.
Yasmin Bleeth.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, these
yeah.
are the reruns, so they look good.
Man, those are TV shows my father would not want me to watch as a teenager. Bless me, Father, for I did sin. Okay. Any other critiques or encouragements for David on that agenda? Was the tonality good? I felt like tonality was strong. I felt like his confidence level was there. Was it robotic? Was it telemarketery, or was it salesy? Any of that?
No.
Not really. No. If he had the ability to slow it down a little, it would have been even better. Maybe. Yeah. But excellent, David. Yeah, okay, who's next? 2 more. We're gonna do 2 more times, and then we'll call it a night. We got 3 minutes. Nobody?
I can be the caller, I guess, if nobody else.
Okay, let's do it. Who wants to be the homeowner? Rick?
I'll be the homeowner if you want.
David wants to be the homeowner. Let's do it. All right, go for it, guys.
Go ahead. You call me.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Rocky. I'm a real estate investor, and I saw you had a for sale sign in your front yard there, and I just wanted to call and see about buying your property. Is now a good time?
You know what? I got a couple minutes. Go ahead. Tell me. Go ahead. What do you got going on?
Yeah, I just want to, ask you a few questions and, see if, it'll work out. And if it doesn't, that's fine. And
you can tell me no, David.
You can tell me no, David. You can fire me.
Yes. See, that eliminates all of the desperation. All of I gotta have this or I'm not gonna eat, right? It takes away all of the stress, all the pressure when you say, and if it's not a good fit, you can tell me no. Is that okay? That's why we say that. Because it makes David feel more comfortable. And we want David to be comfortable because in the qualification section next week, we're gonna want David to open up to us a little bit. Let's try it again. Go.
Ring,
Ring,
ring.
ring. Hello.
Yeah, this is Rocky. I'm a real estate investor, and the reason I'm calling, I saw that sign in your yard. Just want to get a little information about buying your property. Is now a good time?
Rock, you know what? I've been getting a couple phone calls, but yeah, I got a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make it quick, and you can fire me at any time if you don't like what you hear.
Okay. Okay. Wrap it up with a question, Rocky. Is that okay?
Yeah, is that okay if I ask you a few questions to see if if I can buy your house today?
Absolutely. That sounds great.
Okay. Time out. Good job, Rocky. Let's talk about it. Break it down, somebody. Rights, wrongs, goods, bads, indifference, comments, questions.
Kind of backwards from your script, but he still got the point across, I guess.
Yeah, I felt like that too.
I was freestyling a little bit.
Kind of freestyled it, but he hit the highlights on that agenda. Have to remember to hit them highlights.
No script in front of me.
But he put it in his own words. No script in front of him. Formulas are for babies. You don't need it in front of you when you grow up and you start cutting your teeth. Okay. Put the formula away. Rocky's winging it. He's going off memory. He's shooting from the heart. I liked it. I thought he did pretty good.
It sounds natural when you don't have a script in front of you, even if you make it your own. As long as you take the outline that you gave us, you can make it your own.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. All right, one more up to bat. Who's up to bat? I'll be the homeowner. Victor, are you still with us? Okay.
Yep, I'm right here. Hold on just one second. Let me mute my I thought we'd be wrapped up by now. Actually, I scheduled another call right in between. But anyway.
Sorry,
okay,
dude. You can go if you need to, man. I'm
no. I'm good.
I wanted you to run the agenda while I home own.
Okay. All right.
Okay, ring ring. Hello.
Hi, is this Justin?
Who's asking?
Hi, Justin. My name is Victor. Look, I got your number. Looks like you had a home or something you were advertising for sale. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's on Zillow.
Okay, good. Yeah. I think that's what I saw. Well, look, Justin, I'm a real estate investor here in the area, and I thought maybe I'd give you a call and see if there was something you and I could come to a deal with, and if we can wrap it up today. Is that something you'd be looking to try to accomplish?
Well, sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You ready to sell your house today?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask you some questions. You can ask me some questions. If you if you don't like something I say or whatever, you have permission to fire me. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, good. Here, let me
Okay.
Bam.
Time out. Great. Let's talk about it. That was the agenda.
Mhm.
That was the agenda. Let's critique it. Let's break it down. Questions, comments.
Do you like getting too many yes or no questions before you reach that main point of the agenda? Like
Are you talking
the
to me?
main, or both of you. Like the
Okay.
main part of the agenda is hey, you ask me I'll ask you some questions. You ask me some questions. If you feel this isn't a good fit, then you can say no, and I'm okay with that. Before that, do you want to? Would you dig into?
Yeah, I listen to see if they're on board at some level. Just like when with Justin, and I'm like, again, I'm trying to do two things at once. So Justin was kind of like, well, who is this? And, and until I can get him to say something where I feel like we actually connected at some level, and then I at that point, I give him permission to fire me. But I kind of have to just feel for him to, finally say, okay, I'm ready to listen a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, that sense of something.
I personally would probably skip some of that if it is on Zillow, or if there is a sign in the yard. Obviously, they want to sell their property. So I would probably just go right into, hey, Justin, this is Rick. Saw your property on Zillow over there, and I'm a real estate investor looking for a couple in the area. And then
no doubt.
Script or something.
Yeah, no doubt. It's depending on the situation and how it happened or whatever. I just happen to go in that direction. But you're right. If I already knew the information, I'd be like, look, Justin, I saw that you were advertising property for sale on Zillow. Look, is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions and see if maybe we have a match? I'd love to be able to buy a property today.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. I think overall he gets a A+ with a gold star. What do you guys think? You guys think he did good? He completed the agenda. He said the important parts.
Yeah.
That's a yes.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
that's an affirmative. Okay,
Yes.
Thumbs up from Aisha.
okay. Was it salesy? Was it telemarketery?
Not at all.
Was it confident? Was it tonality on top? Was he really strong?
To the point, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that's why he gets the gold star. Okay.
Yeah, like I think you have to kind of take control of the situation, you know, because Clyde calls it a pattern interrupt, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times you call somebody and your pattern interrupt can be, in my opinion, you can jump in and just and correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes your pattern interrupt is simply just letting them know that you are solid, that you know what you're talking about, and that you're here to do business.
Yeah.
And not lollygag and not waste their time.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's usually a lot of times that's different than everybody else who calls. That is a pattern interrupt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
The
sometimes,
agenda-
let me know what you guys think about this. Like sometimes if I call a person that's on Zillow, I'm like, hey, Victor, this is Rick. I saw your house on Zillow. I'm a real estate investor. Is that property still for sale?
Yeah, it's for sale.
And then from there, I would take it to, hey, that's great. Hey, listen, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. You can ask me a couple of questions. If at any time it doesn't make sense to you, it's okay to tell me no. Are we okay to continue?
A+.
A+ with a gold star.
A+. That's exactly right. I'll do that.
That wasn't too aggressive?
Yeah. I think everybody that did it tonight did it super well.
Yeah.
Super well.
Mhm.
Okay. Next week. Okay. Practice this, guys. You newbies, practice this. Practice this in the mirror. Practice this when you're driving your car and you're in there by yourself instead of singing Ashley Simpson songs like me. Okay. Practice the agenda. Hi, I'm Justin. Calling because I saw your property online. It was interesting to me. I'm an investor. I wanted to pick up another property today. I wanted to ask you a few questions. You asked me a few questions. If it's not a good fit, you can tell me no. Is that cool? Practice it. If you don't practice, you won't get better. Got to practice it. Now, next week, we're going to, hey, beautiful baby, David. Beautiful baby. Love it. It's hard to believe that you did that. I'm just messing with you, man.
Oh, man.
That's a beautiful baby. Next week, we're going to dive into the qualification section where we're going to find out about the property. We're going to find out about the seller's motivation level, and we're going to learn how to use empathy as a psychological trigger to get them to open up to us and tell us why they want to sell us the house today. Okay. Now, that's where the real magic starts to happen. All right. So next week's really, really important. We might even have to break it down into 2 weeks because we'll practice that. Shut up, money.